Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and as you can see, the smile is on the Nasher, which means, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, which means Rangers, of course, picked up all 3 points, and Christmas, people, Christmas, come here, Christmas is saved. Because there was parts of that game that I went, oh no, I see how this gets. I've read this story before, you know what I mean? Same story, different pages. I know where to go with this bad boy, but we never, people. And it was almost a flashback to previous seasons when Michael Beale was actually at the football club. I'm going to go and speak about that later on, because yes, this isn't a video that's going to be 29 minutes long. There's no going to be late drama. There's no going to be a ridiculous amount of goals, but it is a very, very interesting flip of the coin game, because this is also the type of team we need to be. A team that's able to roll the sleeves up, no be pan-breed by 65 minutes on the clock, be able to roll their sleeves up, battle and continue to run, chase and put in the work to the very last whistle. And there's a real argument that can be made, and probably will be made by me throughout today's video, that this is the first time this season we've been able to actually sit back and say that about our squad, because we were so lethargic, we were so unfit. And again, we're not there yet, we're not the perfect picture or anything, we're no Monet, people, but it is again another very, very important statement for me. Shows the difference already that Beale's put in. All these double training sessions, all the fitness focus sessions that we've had already has already reproduced a very, very good result, and I don't think we get that result at any other point of the season. If we never made the change we made, I didn't think we win that game one night this afternoon. I'll be brutally honest, we'd probably conceded 4 corners, if I'm honest with you. But alright, let's go ahead and talk about this game then, because again, it wasn't the prettiest game, but 3 points is in the bag. I'm a happy guy about that, and we actually kept a clean sheet. We kept a clean sheet, people. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And it isn't just the fact that we kept a clean sheet for the first time God knows how long, people, but we actually started 2 centre-backs. 2 centre-backs at Rangers Football Club in the starting 11. Oh my God, didn't wake me up if I'm dreaming, people, because it's quite clearly a Christmas miracle. Where's Michael Caine? Where's the Muppets? Wait, does that make me the Muppet? But moving away from deep psychological questions and of course my favourite Christmas movie, we're going to discuss this game, and I want to speak about a couple of players very, very briefly, then we'll get to the game recap, which again won't take too long. I would like to talk about young Adam Devine, because there is a lot of conversation out there, and rightly so. Listen, I've had a few jokes about it as well. I mean, Mbappe played every minute pretty much of the World Cup, 120 minutes in the World Cup final, and he's back 3 days later training and playing for PSG and everything like that, whilst Barisic played about 91 minutes in the entire competition. He's still not here yet. That's leaving us quite weak, because again we're having to play a right back, a youth right back at left back for Hibs. Aberdeen away, and of course away to Ross County, which some people might put their nose up and everything, but I can't be bothered with that attitude. That's a tough game to go, especially in these conditions, in this type of night, and to throw a young laddie in there to do what he has done is simply sensational, because we all should be absolutely foaming at the mouth and being bitter the fact that Barisic isn't back yet. But I'll be honest with you, people, seeing this young laddie develop and seeing this young laddie face different tasks and not only meet them but exceed them and continue to get better and better, I'm sitting back going, you know what, didn't rush Barisic back. If he's not ready to come back, if he's not all in right now to be able to play and help this football team, I'm alright to seeing this young laddie be given more game times, because for me, I thought he had his hardest challenge of the night, or a different challenge, I should say. I mean, Aberdeen put a lot of big men on him, tried to punt the ball to see what he got physically, and I thought he handled it pretty well. I thought Hibs, he was excellent. I thought he was good versus Aberdeen, and I'm back up to excellent with probably his best overall performance, in my opinion, versus Ross County, because what was he up against? One of the quickest players, not only in the SPFL, but a direct live wire who challenged him defensively. And again, he didn't win every single battle, people, but he was there to the very last whistle. The other boy left the park blowing out his arse, not being able to breathe, people. Our young laddie was there to the very last kick of the ball, dealing with whatever challenge came his way. So before I get lost in the jokes and the one-liners, Adam Devine Well done, lad. And the well done's actually just continue for me, and I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but I'm going to praise 2 Rangers defenders in the same game. 2 Rangers defenders in the same game, but I want to give Connor Goldson a wee shout out here, people, because again, he done a lot of stuff that maybe would get overlooked, like wee interceptions and a couple in the last 10 minutes, being in the right place at the right time, something that I think a lot of us would take for granted, but now we've not had it for 6-7 weeks, and we've seen just how pathetic and how much we've been bullied and seen how poor we've been over the last 2 months. They have that man back in there and just do the wee interceptions, do the wee blocks, get up and win a header, out muscle and out battle a Jordan White when he's trying to run down the line and try and win a corner in the last 5 minutes. We've seen that story several times this season. But Big Goldie stood strong and he didn't get involved. And then he just shooed them off. It's like, mate, I'm not interested in getting involved in your nonsense. It's like when you're walking about the toon, people, and they guys come up to you with the clipboards and their phone out and it's like, hi there, would you like to donate £1 to help dolphins get boners? No, mate, no, I wouldn't. Go away and leave me. That was Goldson for the first whistle to the last. And again, he done so many little things right this afternoon that never has went right for the last 8 weeks. I'm sitting back just really taking in, even being a Goldie fanboy, like I'm saying, that's it, that's what we've been missing. So before we get lost in the one-liners and everything like that, I just wanted to give a shout out to the 2 players in the Rangers defence who again has been torn apart. This Rangers team has been mocked, has been ripped apart in pretty much every recap, so the fact that they've actually came out here and done well, in my opinion, deserves to be praised. So aye, they were brilliant, and I thought Davies was good in that as well. Clever with a couple of his passes, good with his long rangers. He's building his way back up, but for me, the 2 stars of the overall show, besides one more out player, which we'll get to in a minute, is Devine and Goldie, and I'll actually give Goldson my man of the match. And if you watch to the end of the video, you'll see why. But aye, people, there is still other things that we will need to discuss regarding Michael Beale. So I think we'll pause right there and we'll actually get in to the game recap, and let's hope it all flows naturally. That would be very nice, people. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. I know you're spending time with your families and everything like that. It's Christmas. I know you're all busy. So we'll get into this. We'll break it down quickly and we'll do our thing, because going into this game there was a couple of changes. John McLaughlin, who had his moment and answered a lot of critics, and I'm so proud of him, I'm so happy for him as well. He was back in the sticks as Alan McGregor has got a bit of sickness. You had, of course, Ben Davies with the 2 centre backs actually starting the game of football. We saw the returning Scotty Arfield into the starting 11, and again, I'm not trying to bring it down and bring the mood down or anything like that, but once again, I'm reminded why I continually sit here and say the exact same thing. Scott Arfield is a completely different player when he starts than when he actually comes off the bench. As an impact sub, I get it. Yes, I like him. Get him involved. Absolutely. Last 20 minutes, bring him on. Let him do his thing. When he starts, he is absolutely invisible, people. You wouldn't even need to recast a Patrick Swayze or anything like that. Just put Scotty Arfield when he starts a game in that role and the remake is done, people, because as impactful as he was on Tuesday as an impact sub, he was Casper this afternoon, and I think that's the perfect way to actually summarise how I feel about the guy. Love him as a guy, love his whole thing, and he was really nice to me when I met him at Rangers training. We had a wee bit of laugh and everything because of the stuff I've said about him and that, so I know he's a good guy about it and he was great about it, but I will always continue to sit here and tell you the truth. I like Scotty Arfield as a player, but I think he's much more suited as an impact sub rather than a starter, and for me this afternoon it showed why. The other starter was actually John Lundstrom, who was back into the mix, and of course he has his moment, which I'm very, very excited about. But the way this game actually started, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't all smiles, sunshines and rainbows, people. Nah. It was nippy. And I think a lot of the nip was the fact that Sakala was starting, which I've not got a problem with, but he was starting as a number 9, which is drastically different, and I thought you could kind of feel the heat for the squad. I don't know if this is just me, maybe you can let me know in the comment section below, but you could see us try and build up. You could see Ryan Kent doing his thing, you could see Kamara just growing as a he was brilliant again this afternoon, in my opinion, and again it shows you that when somebody believes in that laddie and has his back, he can perform. He's looking like the Glenn Kamara of old now under Michael Beale, rather than being one of the first flung out the door under an underperforming Giovanni side. He was excellent, but I thought him, Kent, Tillman, they're all doing nice wee passes, they're all zipping about, they're all getting involved, then it's gone to Sakala and it's bouncing off from people like he's got flubber on his chest. Flubber on his bit, and you're just going, what is happening? Tillman even stood there like this, like he couldn't believe that Sakala's first touch is a slide challenge. But do you get what's even scary about that? Is his second one isn't even a recovery, it's another slide challenge. He was winding me up in the opening 15 minutes, and it nearly came back to haunt us because everything we tried to create was bouncing off him, wasn't sticking, and even when Tillman played a beautiful through ball in behind, Sakala sliced it like me in my first day at home ec. Just early shot. And again, we were nearly punished for the slackness of Fashion Sakala because literally from that goal kick, Ross County go up the park and they create their biggest and best chance of the game in a moment that has hurt us all season long. It is a ball that we don't get quick enough. I think Lundstrom was a coat on his heels a little bit. It's a great ball to the back of the post. I've got to hold my hands up. Say it is a great cross. If Tavernier done it, I'd be singing the praises. So it is a good cross. Tavernier doesn't deal with it. There's a Ross County player at the back post, free header. He hits it. He does everything right. Here, people, he does it down the way. But John McLaughlin, who started the season off pretty well, had those two massive saves in Europe as well, by the way. I know we lost the game 2-0, but he made two 1v1 saves that gave us the opportunity to come back and win it versus USG. He's had good moments. He was terrible versus Celtic. Can't make any excuses. He was absolutely awful. Bombed out the squad, bombed out this, despite McGregor not doing too much else besides that one game versus Liverpool. But again, John McLaughlin stood up strong at this exact moment because that's the save that wins us this game. That's the save that gave us the platform to go on and do what we done. Wonderful, outrageous save for John McLaughlin. But again, thankfully, because of John McLaughlin, we were still at 0-0 and it gave us the platform to go and do what we've done. And this is very interesting for me, right? Because I think we showed good patience with how we possessed the football, which you might hear that and say, CJ, you were going absolutely crazy at how much possession-based football and everything we've done under Gio. Now you're praising it under Beale. What are you actually talking about? But for me, there is a stark difference in how we are going about our business. And I think the goal actually showed it because it's no possession for possession's sake. It's not going side to side in the back the way. It's nipping. It's the triangles. You can see it quite clearly. It's all about moving forward and creating a gap to go forward. Go back and watch the goal. I know it's a long-range effort for Lundstrom, but the 30-45 seconds before that, it's just gorgeous football if you're an absolute nerd like me. Tillman, Kent, again, brilliant for Ryan Kent. They're involved with it. Kamara's involved with it. The ball eventually goes out to Fashion Sakala, who actually gets the ball to Lunny, and Lundstrom scores an L1, R1 circle, just like I taught him at Auchenhowie. You're welcome, John. Please forgive me now for getting you beat. But it's a great goal for Lundstrom. We started off. We've made up for the earlier little mistake that we had. We got away, we won. McLaughlin gave us it. Now we're in the lead. Now it's about adding to it and making sure we get this win. But we didn't, people. Not even going into the second half, which began real nippy bum time. But again, we had another phenomenal bit of football played in the 53rd minute. Great football. Again, you're going to get bored of hearing this. Ryan Kent heavily involved in it. They seem to be the one that gets it and then creates everything. Tillman's involved with it. It's great work. Again, good strength because the boy tries to knock Tillman there, but he ends up passing it back to Lundstrom, who is on a goal now. And his reverse pass in behind the defence. It's a no-look pass to young Adam Devine, who keeps himself. I love this as well because he's only a young laddie, but he's staring right across the line, like he's a centre forward, keeping himself onside. And then the ball as well, the composure of the young man on his weaker foot. He picks out Sakala 6 yards out, who's done everything right. But the finish, people, it was treacle. It was awful. It was slow. It was like Rangers a month ago. Somehow he doesn't score the sitter. And it's hard with Fashion Sakala because you look at me, he does impact games. You can't lie. He's played the last 3 games, right? If you look at it, Aberdeen, Hibs, and then this one right here, he's got 2 goals and an assist. He has been directly involved in making sure we win every single game. But I'm absolutely demented, people. I'm sitting back watching these games like the mum of the wee lassie for The Exorcist. I'm just like, what is happening? What's going on? Because it drives you absolutely up the wall. Yet then he'll have a moment of magic, and then the next minute you look at him and say, have you even seen a football before? Have you? Have you even got football bits on? Or are you wearing Timbies? Oh, it was bad. People, there were so many moments that again he just killed the attack or killed the counter-attack, and I think Michael Beale had saw enough as well, because less than 2 minutes after that golden opportunity to make it 2-0 and wrap up the points, Alfredo off the bench, back on for Sakala. And did Alfredo add anything really different in my opinion? Not really. I thought it was kind of a frustrating again performance for Alfredo Morelos. He done well with in terms of his physicality and getting in front of defenders, won us a couple of important free kicks, so he definitely done his job that way. But again, he was frustrating on the other end of the thing as well, because again, he's not clinical when he does get the opportunities, and he's got happy picking the wrong choices, especially when Rabi Matondo came on the park, because again, Scotty Arfield got substituted off about the 60th minute, and I actually went, oh aye, I forgot Scotty Arfield was on the park. I was complaining about the tweet, we should sub Arfield on because he's probably got a goal in him. And it started. I forgot for the game. But Rabi Matondo comes on, and Jacko, who I thought had another quietly effective performance. Very big interceptions, getting us up the park, quieting things down when it done it. That's the Jacko we know it can be. But it is going to be the subs of Morelos and Matondo that makes the biggest talking points, in my opinion, because both of them had several opportunities to wrap this game up, and both of them blew it. Now, I know not everyone is a Ryan Kent fan, so the next couple of minutes is going to be a little bit rough for you, because he's just involved in everything, man. He's just skilling and thrilling. He's in the middle of the park. He's on the right-hand side. He's on the left-hand side. He's beating people up front. He's genuinely terrifying the opposition, and he does a wonderful no-look pass in behind the defence for Rabi Matondo, who can run towards goal because he's inside the box and he's got Morelos there. But it's almost, you know, like when you've not got any confidence and you just hit it. It was kind of like an in-between a shot and a cross. You can see the young lad is clearly not got any confidence, and it didn't look very pretty, but it's another chance that was created for Kent. And then Kent again, for a corner, somehow he falls on his jacksy, people, right? He's like Santa coming down the chimney, right, on the jacksy. Somehow manages to get on his feet and get the ball, beat another in, and set us away with another counter-attack that we unfortunately gave away as Matondo's pass is actually overhit, and you're thinking that's another major opportunity created for Ryan Kent. And then the worst one, well, not the worst one, but the worst one so far comes. And to be fair, Matondo does very well here as he gets the ball, he zips it in to Morelos, who spins his man. Now you've got Matondo here, you've got Kent wide open, screaming for the football. Morelos is here, and instead of picking one of the passes out, he hits an absolute powder puff of a shot that slowly rolls to the opposition. It looked like a pass back. Kent's throwing and everything going absolutely mental, and no wonder. But if that was bad, and it was bad, people, that's why I like the imagination of the Tillmans, because they get their head up, they see things differently. Even a Cholak, when he set a couple guys up this season, I like a Tillman in that role, because he's getting his head up, he's passing that across the line, and it's 2-0, and we can all relax, we can untense, we can stop picking up chopsticks with the old cheeks, we can breathe, but we couldn't, because again, silly, needless errors, and again, a bit selfish for Alfredo there, and it gets even worse for Rabi Matondo as we're jumping all the way to the 90th minute of the game. That's right, the 90th minute. This is Pete Grey-Hair Turner right here. But somehow we counter. Brilliant ball for Kent in behind for Rabi Matondo. He's got the entire length of his park himself. He's running. Kent's bursting. Kent's played every minute in this game, and I think that's very telling. For anyone questioning if he wants or his attitude, his work rate, blah blah, go back and watch that. He sprints, he leaves Morelos for dust. Morelos is nowhere near that, yet he makes the pass and he sprints all the way up. And then, to be fair, Matondo tries to go round the goalkeeper, he tries to show a bit of composure, but it just gets too close to the goalie. Again, show him the nerves, but it wasn't just the fact that he tried to go round the goalie and Laidlaw made a very good defensive or goalie sort of save with his feet, but it's the fact that Ryan Kent is here, people, for the tapping. It's Dundee United away, it's Ross County away the next game week when we blew points in the free when Scotty Arfield never passed it. It's 3 times so far this season. It is that head up, one more pass along, tap it into the back of net away from dropping points and being very, very comfortable. And at that point right there, when we'd done it again, I was sitting like this and I was like, nah, this is going to come back to bite us. But that's when Connor Goldson, for me, showed his difference, because Jordan White gets the ball down the left-hand side from that counter-attack that should have been a goal, and Goldie just stands up drags him down to the sideline and then just shoulders him. He's only in. It's strong enough to do that. Wins us a goal kick. Then, as there's 5 minutes added on, there is 32 seconds left, and he just nips in after Tavernier is turned inside the box. Who's at the right place at the right time to collect the ball, take a couple steps, find Jacko and get it punted away? Connor Goldson. Those wee things, those boring little things that didn't make highlight reels is the reason I'm picking the big man as the man of the match. He was excellent in everything that he'd done, and everything again that he'd done. We haven't had for weeks and months, and I think that's why it was shining like the North Star. Right, Timmy, how many Christmas references am I going to get in today's video? I don't know, but if anybody's keeping count, let me know in the comment section below. But that's it, people. It's actually very reminiscent. Do you remember when we actually won the league? We went versus Kilmarnock twice, and we both won 1-0, both there and back. It was very, very similar to that. But again, for me, the differences are the ugly stuff. How we were running, how we were winning the ball back in the 90th minute, how we were chasing them down in the 82nd minute with young Adam Devine bursting his pan in to get back and put a slide challenge in. The fitness level is so different than it was 2 months ago that, again, I'm pretty sure if you look in the comment section, people will be actually talking about it, people. So aye, that's my thoughts and opinions on the game. Absolutely love the fact that we got a clean sheet, love the fact that we're building up again regarding our players fitness wise, and of course our centre backs are getting fitter. And for me, Ryan Kent just continues to shine in this Rangers team. And if we can get this Ryan Kent all season long, there is still a lot to play for this season. And I genuinely cannot wait to see Cholak on the end of a Tillman, Ryan Kent, and of course Glenn Kamara. When they're playing like this, when they're being as creative as this, someone that sees the game a little bit different from the attacking options that we've got in a Morelos or Sakala, could mean for even more goals for Tony Goal. So aye, there's a lot of positivity here despite it being a ugly game. But that's my thoughts and opinions on the game. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And if you didn't mind, let me know your man of matches. That would be great. If it's Adam Devine, you can say I wouldn't argue at all. But aye, that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, for another year. That's going to be our last video before Christmas. I hope you have a great time, whatever you're doing, however you're celebrating it. Hope you have a great time with your families, and I will be back very, very soon, just a couple days time. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Siege over 92. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and all the best. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.